few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. Come be live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for an hour. So I was just listening to an interesting audio over here. I will play, give you some idea of it.
So there's a nice treat already. Doves and hawks make up all the creatures, so their fractions have to add up to 1. And this means we can replace the small h with 1 minus small d. And now the expected dove and hawk scores are both written as functions of one variable and the same variable, so we can graph them on top of each other. The expected scores are equal when the graphed lines cross, and indeed the equilibrium condition is met at 50% doves. And if we run a simulation with way more creatures than before, unfortunately too many to animate.
Really cool channel I found. It just fed it to me. YouTube fed it to me. And it's a visual representation of the evolution of aggression through simulation software. So it's pretty neat. They take some 3D simulated things that look like marshmallow pips or whatever, and set them off in little environments with food, and I guess, and then they give them a set of instructions, and they'll either fight or not. And that visual representation of game theory, I think, is pretty neat. So I don't know if anybody's ever dealt with game theory. We've got a couple of people over the years that understand that concept and have attempted to get together to chat about it, because I barely understand the concept, let alone apply it to anything. But I think there's some potential there in, if nothing else, giving us some perspective on our what's the word, like the scope of what's realistic on when we have conversations with people, and then perhaps with some strategies for having conversations that are effective when we're talking 2A, of course. So anyway, I thought that was kind of neat, and I'm trying to, well, I'll probably end up watching it. Sorry about that. Well, I'm doing some busy work someday when I can actually pay a little bit more attention to it. But like I said, the concept of game theory is interesting to me, and it's it can be applied to business, and it can get applied to games, I guess. It can be applied to I don't know, all kinds of things. So I think it'd be neat to try to apply it to our frustration or our efforts to communicate with the gun prohibitionists to change some of the way that we fight on this stuff, or some of the way that they use the unawareness against us. Anyway, so it was a topic that got me late tonight, I guess. We started a few minutes late here. See, I'm using the duck tonight. So I got Chris out there. Lockjaw, welcome. And then there's one other person who hasn't said nothing, because we don't know, because of YouTube's ultimate respect for your privacy. They don't tell you who's in there unless you say something. So you can see the two of us, and then me makes 3, and then there's one other person in here. And we'll go for a little while tonight. I didn't send any invites out, because I sent invites out earlier. Nobody showed up to that show. Me makes 3, and then there's one of nobody's joined us, so I figured what's the point of sending links out. I see Zudak, is that how you say it? Zudak? Whatever. Is that a Saguaro cactus? There's Ozzy. And let's see, so earlier today I went live for 2 hours or so. Dang, I'm like 2 cups of coffee in today. I'm still yawning. I don't know what's up with that. Matt's show was that boring. But anyway, I went live for a couple hours today to attempt to offer some, I don't want to say distraction, but just some alternative to the repetitive droning about, however people want to exploit all this stuff. And I don't necessarily want to talk about that stuff tonight. But I also figured I'd leave it up to the audience tonight. So we got 7 people. I see Patriots out there now. Let's see. We got a guy. A comment. The hell, I'm yawning. So I'll leave the topics up to y'all, whatever we want to talk about. But Patriot was beating his kid, I guess. Let's see, got Lockjaw out there. And like I say, we'll see. If anybody wants a link, let me know. But otherwise, I have a couple of things I could get done. And I've been online for a while today, so don't have any passion for being online just for the hell of it. But I'll, let's see. Show bumped me off the red dot live. I don't know what that means. Show bumped me off the red dot. Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying now. So I think what he's saying is when you're watching these things, there's the little slider at the bottom of the video. And normally it's just at the front, it's at the right side of that slider, cooking along with the thing live. But if for some reason you want to go watch something again, what's neat about these live things, you just take that slider and move it over. And you can watch anything you want that's already happened on this live stream over and over and over. And whenever you're ready to watch, the stream again live, catch up to whatever's current, just click the red dot, right? And then it takes you to live. It takes you to whatever's happening right this moment. School district is messing up my schedule. It's good to hear. Yeah, so I guess with everybody doing that, that would happen. I don't know what's going on. I keep yawning. I don't know what's going on with people not showing up for the show, but I'll send out some links again for the show this week, and we'll see if people show up. But I am going to go live for a while tomorrow. Got to try to, schedule out the next couple of weeks. I had an idea in mind of what I was going to do for the next couple of weeks, month or so. And obviously with things changing chaotically, that's changing plans. So let's see, I suspect YouTube knocks people off live to lower numbers. Off live, do you mean the viewers? Or us? I think it knocked out. Maybe it was all sick. What is your Saguaro got an AR? Is that what that's supposed to be? I see it now. It's bigger. I feel like a Saguaro would shoot a lever action. I mean, they're allowed to shoot ARs. I'm not saying they can't have them. I think it'd be illegal to shove an AR up into a Saguaro, though. It's our state cactus, plus it's endangered, right? Maybe my computer slow just doesn't stay with the live zone. Oh, there's something that can be done. What is it? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I think I'm thinking of something else. Because there was something that you could kick it and people, maybe it was just for a while, one of the versions of the player. But I think for a while there was that issue where people would be, just commenting from like 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, and we'd have to tell them, oh, you're not live. And then they'd figure it out. But I think whatever that was, YouTube fixed it because it seems like it's been a while since that's been an issue. Saguaros need to defend themselves. There's so many jerks out there that are mean to them. I've never felt the urge to be mean to a saguaro, but I do want a set of saguaro bones. There's these I don't know how to describe them. They look like big long French bread. They're not perfectly straight or nothing. They're not like a broomstick, but they're kind of like broomsticks or shovel handles. They're long wooden posts, I guess. They're not really posts. They're more like a handle than a post, but they're long wooden poles, I guess that's the way to describe them, that are holding up those cactus. They have woody, is that meristem? What does that be? It would be their woody cat. What the fuck is those things called? I can't think of what the ribs. I can't think of what those things are called though. I guess it's just anyway, there's a cell in the plant that pulls water from the roots up to the thing, and that's what those things are when they dry out. It's not really wood. It's just that when they die, it gets woody. So anyway, yeah, they're cool, and it's just as illegal to harvest them as it is the cactus, if I understand correctly. In fact, I'm gonna go look right now because I'm sure it's a lot. These 8 people that are watching the Daily Gun Show are worried about saguaro cactus. ribs. Legal. You can buy them, so it can't be illegal to even own them. Skeletal remains of the saguaro and cholla cactus being taken from private, state, and public lands may have an adverse impact on the fragile desert environment. Okay, I want to hear about it. Is it legal to take a saguaro skeleton? It is illegal to remove saguaro and cholla skeletons from the desert. And who the hell is going to pick up a cholla cactus skeleton? That's like the dumbest thing. That's like saying it's illegal to pick up molten lava in Hawaii, so don't do it. Cholla skeletons from the desert unless you have permission from the owner. Specimens, from the owner. Specimens can be purchased at plant nurseries. Enjoy them out in the desert and take lots of photos. That's not real. That's just from some easy plant place. Let me look in Wikipedia. It's the state wildflower of Arizona. Its scientific name is in honor of Andrew Carnegie. In '94, the Saguaro Park was designated to help protect the species. Shit, it's only that old? I thought it was way older than that. Let's see. They can grow to be over 150 years old. Considerable amounts of rainwater. How about legality? How about legality, ecology, conservation? Harming or vandalizing a saguaro in any manner, such as shooting them, sometimes known as cactus plugging. Who the hell ever? I've never heard that said before. And I've only been into guns for decades in this state, and that's where we have these cactuses. I've never heard anybody call it that before. It is illegal. I don't know if anybody has ever shot one though either. So, by the state of Arizona, it's just illegal by Arizona law. When the houses or highways are built, special permits must be obtained, so you can't destroy them at all. I already knew about that. If you have 10 acres or less, you can remove it from your property. Let's see. If it falls over in a storm, it's okay. In 1982, a man was killed after damaging a saguaro. He was shooting and poking at a saguaro and made an effort to make it fall. One of the arms fell off, and it was 500 pounds, and it fell on and crushed him and his car. That's what you get for poking a 100-and-something-year-old entity, asshole. Let's see. So contrary to popular statements, there's no law mandatoring prison sentences for cutting down cactuses. However, it is considered a Class 4 felony with a possible 3-year, 9-month maximum sentence. I guess there is no law against at least I can't find nothing about the bones, but I always heard it was illegal to pick up the bones. All right, well, now we're back to the chat again. What we got? I have one of these things hanging from a pottery wind chime my mom brought back when I was in Tucson. It's some kind of snakeskin cactus skeleton. Oh, I know what you're talking about. That is what you're talking about with cholla. I guess that's true. So there are people that take bones out of cholla. It can't be illegal because cholla is everywhere. Cholla is not even native, probably. It's so freaking weedy. Let's see if cholla is cholla native. Too hazy. There's usually stuff like that ain't native when it's that invasive. How did I spell it? Did I spell it? How bad did I spell it? CH. So that's the one that looks like a bunch of sausages. They look like white fuzzy sausages. So if you ever see one, don't go anywhere near it because it's not white and fuzzy. Well, it is white, but don't go touch it. It isn't fuzzy. Native to Sonora and the southwestern United States. Dang, I guess it is native to here. Cholla wood. It basically looks like Swiss cheese, I guess. You could say it looks like a weird alien wood or something. Like, I could see why people want cholla wood. And for what Petra is talking about there, I've definitely seen it used for stuff like that. I don't think it's illegal. There's no way it could be illegal because it's growing everywhere and people hate it. It's super dangerous and pokey. So You'd have to get a really big chunk of it to get the kind of wood you're talking about, though. Like, because normally it's like the size of a hot dog. So if you could use something with tiny pieces of wood in a project, then yeah, it would work. But for a big piece, like something like you're talking about, I think I've seen some things where they'll take that stuff and they'll plant a cactus in it, use it like a container, I guess. All right, so this has been the Cactus Show, and we've driven a whole bunch of people away who expected some sort of entertainment or controversy or something, I guess. So I was throwing topics out there for y'all. If y'all want to throw a topic out there, we can talk about it. Otherwise, sit here in silence. I just watched this thing about game theory, which is pretty interesting. So now I'm interested in watching that. Matt says I should watch I can't remember what the name of the show is. Some show that he was saying. Everybody was saying so good. I was thinking about watching some of that. Or I can keep yawning. Holy moly, keep yawning. All right, well, since nobody's saying anything, I'm going to go check out the YouTube and I'll take a look at what I've been watching, see if that gives us something to talk about. So I watched that thing there. I watched this other thing. I keep getting duped by these rip-off thumbnails, so I don't know what I watched because of the stupid thumbnail, but it was bad. Interesting thing about being about if you're skeptical of everything, you're not really a skeptic. That was pretty interesting. Saw a cool little shotgun being made out of a clothespin. Yeah, it looks like driftwood with holes all the way through it. Perfect, exactly what it sounds like, except like hollow driftwood. Is that the way I say it? Like, how do you take like a toilet paper tube and you drill a bunch of holes in it, except make that all out of wood? But yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That would be cholla wood, I guess. But again, there's no way in hell that that would be illegal. I guess if you went to certain places where you can't touch anything, like park, you can't touch anything in the park, then you can't touch cholla in a park. But you can get cholla in any alley in Tucson, and any strip of desert is going to have cholla in it probably. Unless, I guess, maybe not in a city because it's pretty gross and horrible. So any place that's got kids around or dogs around is going to get rid of any cholla. Yankee did some kind of video earlier, Quirked Matt, while he was on. I don't know what his video was about. I didn't watch it. How did all these videos get into my history? I certainly didn't watch all these videos. Oh, I watched somebody called Elfsters Rifle and Reloading did a thing about annealing brass earlier. Annealing 5.56 brass with some sort of contraption that looks like a machine with a wheel on it. And that wheel is sort of like a pie plate, and you have this other little angle bracket that you stack a bunch of 5.56 in, and then this pie plate comes around, and there's a slot in the pie plate edge, and when the pie plate's rotating next to this little angled piece, as it rotates by, it allows one cartridge to fall in there, or one case really, to fall into the inside of the pie plate. And then it kind of falls with gravity, and then it's rolling around on the bottom of the pie plate waiting for that gap to come by so it can fall out the bottom of the pie plate. And as it's spinning or rolling around in there, it's got a torch hitting the end of it right at the bottleneck. And it becomes this kind of weird looking like choreography almost. So you have to like drop a 5.56, you have to wait. I think it takes like 30 seconds, 20 seconds or something, 13 seconds for it to go around in a circle. So you just got this exposed flame going with blue. What is blue? Propane? Map is yellow? I don't know what blue is. Blue is propane and red is acetylene? Or red is oxygen. Red is oxygen, yellow's map, right? And blue would be propane probably, same as green. But whatever, you're running that flame just constantly, so it's like super waste of energy. So I would think you'd want to do it with some sort of an igniting thing that would turn off the flame or turn off the gas or something. But anyway, so I was watching that video. That was a live thing for an hour. Travis had his caliber corner earlier. No caliber today, just the corner. Patriots say when I was a kid, my uncle got my mom a prescription to the magazine Arizona Highway. It has all sorts of awesome graphics. Yeah, it's definitely a coffee table magazine. Is that the way you say it? Like it's designed to be visual, and there's a lot of articles. My problem with it was, I don't know. I like that kind of stuff. I would like it more if they would say like, here's the White Mountains, and like here's what you do in the White Mountains. I'm trying to think of what was like that. More like Popular Mechanics, maybe, or Popular Science. Like they would say, here's the White Mountains, or here's the old, what's it called? The some old copper mine or something, or here's an old ghost town area or something. Like, here's some kind of area of Arizona. Instead, they would go to like a restaurant and say, here's this restaurant. And yeah, you get to see all kinds of pictures of the area around it. At least that was my recollection of it. So, you definitely got to see and know about a lot of stuff, but it was, I guess the way they structured their magazine was they would go there because of such and such restaurant and then talk about where it was. Let's see. Need to check out my latest video on the New Yorker talking to the scientists. It's very important. Why? What's it about? Not about panic. Not gonna fall for the panic. I don't buy canics and I don't fall for panic. National Geographic for the Southwest? I guess. National Geographic was very photographic. I don't know if I ever read National Geographic enough, but I got the idea that National Geographic was out to prove something. Like they were trying to save species or a town or like some kind of archaeological site or something, where Arizona Highways was more like, not even like, I'm contrasting it with is something like, I can't think of the name, but the Arizona Game and Fish had a thing that was more like, hey, it's winter and here's all about winter in Arizona, where Arizona Highways would be more like, here's such and such lodge in Flagstaff. And that's, they'd focus on individual places that I suspect were paying them to be in there. So it was more like, hey, what's it like to be, at this and such restaurant in Bisbee? Not just like, here's everything you can do in Bisbee, and here's the time to go to Bisbee, and here's the best road to go to take to Bisbee, that kind of thing. I don't want to rag on it. It was nice. I got a subscription to Arizona Highways probably same way, like somebody bought it for me and just left it going. Pre-internet, that was the thing to do for people, right? Like for older people to give to kids. I don't even think I can remember. I had Arizona Highways, I had Popular Science and Popular Mechanics. I got some kind of one. I still get some kind of one from being an Eagle. It's called some kind of magazine. Now it's different. But it used to just be like, I don't know, way for people to keep in touch, and sort of like a alumni magazine or something. I got a couple of car magazines. I got a Corvette one. I got some kind of a truck one. I had SWAT and American Survival Guide. I don't know, I had quite a few, and I still got piles of all those magazines. Well, not all of them, but most of those magazines that were good. But some of the magazines, again, were like, here's something about a product, or here's something about a particular accessory. And then other magazines were more like, here's what it's like to be a shooter, or here's what it's like to go to this place, and just be more general. Anyway, let me know what I'm supposed to get from this mayor talking to a scientist. Scientists always think they know everything. So we had a 2.5 hour chat earlier. I was talking about my new hard drive. And that's the other thing I got to do too, I guess, is when we get done with this, I will plug in my old hard drive or my new hard drive again and continue to try to pull some stuff over. And really looking forward to that. It's already much better peace of mind having a bunch of stuff copied, at least once. Done a lot of work that wasn't copied. That was kind of scary. I tried to watch this thing about parallel worlds probably exist based off of Schlesinger's cat experiment, but I couldn't catch it. I didn't get it. It went faster than me. Let's see. I watched a couple of things about making soda back in the olden days. Making soda in the 1930s. Kind of interesting. I learned a little bit about soda. Now I wish the stores weren't crazy. Actually, I could probably go to the store, but I don't know if I can get oranges right now. But citric acid. Anybody ever use citric acid and stuff? Made your own soda? Made your own juices, I guess, with citric acid? I never thought about it. I thought citric acid was a flavoring thing, but I guess it's something you do as a preservative. I never thought about that. That sounded interesting, and now I'm thinking I should have got a bunch of sodium, or whatever I said, citric acid. Patriots saying it's kind of interesting because I was living in Michigan and seeing stuff in Arizona. Spent some time there. Yeah, and exactly. I'm not saying the magazine wasn't amazing. It was amazing. And their pictures were really good. And I guess that's what was frustrating is that they'd often be like they'd be focused on a thing instead of just taking those cameras and focusing them on, turning them around and looking at where they were more. But, well, I think they must have been going for the photographic magazine. What was that called? Like a pictorial type of style, pictorial news. Did I say it? I don't know. But not just photographs, but yeah, amazing photographs. Now I don't know if they edited them or not. I don't know enough about the magazine to know if they were doctoring them, if that's a thing or if that's a negative thing or what. But they certainly were stunning. But if they would have been a little bit more like Popular Mechanics, whether it just would have been like, here's our cactus of the month and here's our thing of the month or something, and then let some kind of editors dig in and do pictures or something of, maybe a species or type of plants or anyway. Oh, the videos were a good laugh. Okay. Oh, we're at 28 minutes. That's crazy. All right. So next, I've been watching this guy who goes around being weird, talking about plants. I don't know. YouTube shoved it at me, so I started watching it. I watched the thing about making little stoves. I don't know where that came from, but some of these things, if I walk out of the room and a video's playing, then another video comes on. Sometimes I leave for a while and I come back and I've watched like 100 videos that I had no idea that I watched them. So that might be where this got to, but I did watch some of it. They had what looked like a piece of PVC pipe that they made a stove out of, one of these rocket stoves. And I was like, how the hell do they make a stove out of PVC pipe? But it turns out it's really aluminum ductwork, but they painted it black. So when you paint aluminum ductwork black and you make a thumbnail for a video, it looks like a piece of PVC pipe. It was interesting. Let's see. So next we got Midnight Rangers show last night. I guess I technically watched that. That's probably why they shoved that one at me, because they've been shoving this one at me to watch. Some guy made a stove out of an ammo can, 50 cal ammo can. I don't know. I watched that video too, but I don't like it. I like the idea, but he riveted everything with aluminum rivets. I guess if you're just going to have a small fire in there, that'll work. But what do you think? Aluminum rivets in a stove? It just seems like you're waiting for all those parts to fall off when the aluminum heats up. Watch something about this building that was built out of concrete, but it looks like an aircraft carrier, and it's in a lake in China or someplace. Watch that. And it was about places that are abandoned that are cool. I watched one where they make a video like that earlier, but it was from one of those metal ammo cans. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Metal ammo can. 50 cal ammo can, the standard. I call it like a standard size ammo can. I'm just concerned about the aluminum rivets. It just seems like I would bolt everything. I mean, I wouldn't mind making I might even make a stove out of an ammo can, but I'm going to bolt everything because drill a hole and put a bolt through there, that ain't coming out. And you can always take it apart, I guess, but the rivet just seemed like, I don't know. I guess I have rivets too. I can do it with rivets and see. But he also, the one I'm watching, he riveted these little aluminum brackets to the bottom of it to put legs on it, which is dumb in the first place. I just think that's a stupid thing. But riveting the bracket thing on was dumb. But then he put a bolt through the leg. Like, oh, that's too, I got to have a strong bolt on the leg, but not on the thing that holds the leg to the thing. But yeah, Nick, I've been using a space heater in here, and a full big, full size stove or fireplace is a pain in the butt, but maybe a little, what do you call it? Ammo can. Actually, you could make it out of one of the larger ammo cans. I guess you don't have to make it out of that little 50 unless you want to make it portable or something. But there's definitely larger ones. I just don't have a lot of empty ones around. Fastest stopping by before work. All right, well, so we got about 30 minutes in, and somehow we met 30 minutes without really saying nothing. If anybody's got any topics, feel free. Otherwise, I'm just looking through, trying to come up with topics out of my history here. Been watching a lot of real estate videos. I think that there's some potential there. So if you're looking for a way to make some money on YouTube, I think real estate videos are the way to do it. Interesting one about some guy walked through a store in San Francisco, I think. And I seen the thumbnail. It was this like wad of sage that you light on fire, like an incense. And I think they might do it for other reasons, like not drugs, but like, I don't know, for some maybe, I don't know, like yoga and shit like that. Like people blow sage. I don't know if you ever smelled sage. It has like a really unique smell. But I don't really prefer it that much, but you can tell when people are doing it. You can go to like a bookstore and they'll have had sage going, burning, and you can tell. But thing is, that's an ornamental out here. People like whole developments will put sage in, like, because it's a water, tolerant or drought tolerant, good looking plant. It puts out yellow flowers, and it grows like a weed out here. And anyway, I clicked on it because I'm always curious. Because back in the day, you could make decent money making those things. Yeah, and they're selling for $12 of basically the size of a cigar for $12. And you can go up to a plant and harvest like dozens of those things off of it without even bothering the plant. Like you wouldn't even make the plant look different. So that was interesting. Watched a video on that. But I don't know if it's worth going out. I don't know if this is the time of year. I have to figure out what time of year you go out and grab those, but it's really easy to make those. So you might see those on the Gear website store. For all the people doing 2A yoga. Now you can get some 2A sage. Watch the thing about some girl wearing a kimono in Japan. So do you think that if a American person, like a non-Japanese person, wears a kimono in Japan, do you think they get mad or do you think they don't get mad? Yeah, spiritual 2A cleansing is what we'll call it. Scares off evil spirits if you're doing houses. Yep. I guess. I don't know. Like I know that sage particularly is like a specific incense, right? Like you use it for specific things. Oh, and I've been watching a bunch of 3D pen things. So 3D printers, right? There's basically this like glue stick or a glue gun. It's like a glue gun, but you put 3D printing plastic filament into it. And then you just scribble. You just start, it's like you're the motor of a 3D printer. That's pretty neat, especially when you've got the ability to move your hand around just like a robot. So I'm thinking about getting one of them and jamming it on my robot. There goes fast. So now we're going to go down to 5 or 6. Watch this guy make a motorcycle out of a 3D pen. Pretty crazy. And it looks really, really good. Like it looks better than any model. Watched the thing about how to remove labels. It was pretty good. Let's see. Watched an interesting video on how to take the old Macintoshes that are yellow, because I got a bunch of old Macintoshes that are yellow, and how to turn them white. Problem is, you can do it. It's not that hard. You just put them in, what do you put them in? Acetone or alcohol or hydrogen? I think you put them in hydrogen peroxide, but then you have to have UV or IR, either UV or IR lights. I forget. You have to get a strip of LED lights though. So that's like another $13. I don't know if it's worth spending $13 to turn on my old Macintoshes. Well, $13 just for the LEDs. Then you have to buy whatever hydrogen peroxide or something. But I think you buy hydrogen peroxide from a place that does hair. I think they sell it cheap, and like from a hair supply place. And then turn all my old Macs into white and try to sell them maybe. Because I do have a couple that I don't know why I even kept them. I figured one day you'd be able to turn them from white to, or from yellow to something. And that might be about it. Bunch of, oh no, here's that thing about models. That was pretty good. 47-minute video on the 3 big model companies from the United States. But I guess I watched that. It doesn't tell you when, but that had to be weeks ago. Does this thing tell you how long ago you watched something? No. Because I scrolled back a long time to see that. Anyway, that was kind of neat though. I never knew the story of them. All right, so we're down to 7 and 30 minutes. Anybody else got any topics or anything to chat about? We're going to go live tomorrow and draw some more robots, or at least work on the robot project. Not just draw them, but spend some time on that project. I wouldn't normally, but I figure it's probably, well, I don't care. I'm going to do it as an alternative for anybody that's interested in getting something different than the doom and gloom. So I'll just intentionally do a couple hours tomorrow to talk about something different. Then get back to working on some other projects. Let's see. I was halfway thinking about moving this show to the daytime, but I hesitate. I don't really want to focus on, just reiterating or regurgitating what people have heard or what we're, getting fights about, what we think might happen or what. So if I could get a couple of people that were interested in talking just gun stuff and not news of the day during the day, and I'm considering doing that for a bit. Moving my project work and stuff that I'm going to do during the day off, because I'm suspecting it's going to be useful for people, right? Just to get something off their mind, especially if people are home and getting stir crazy. Salt across the doorway keeps out spirits. I don't know about that. I know I've heard that if you wipe deodorant on the floor, roaches won't walk across it. Have you ever heard that? I'd rather keep roaches out than spirits. What if they're good spirits? If it's like your great-great-grandma who's trying to take care of you. Spirit of your puppy or something. Interested in joining at Patriot or interested in listening to it? I mean, I'd definitely like to get into some conversations. I don't know when it's going to happen now. It's frustrating. I think that there's need And I think this recent situation shows us that, I don't know, it shows me at least that I have one less, what's the word, like place to look for info now that Gun Channels is gone. And I think that with something like something bigger than that, something that, what Gun Channels could have or should have aided in this kind of thing and could aid in recovery. I guess now I'd have to say in future recoveries of future situations. But I think that's what something that gun owners have to potentially offer the rest of society, and maybe even a way to leverage our experience, like our situation, so that maybe show that this is what we deal with often, and use that somehow as everybody starts to forget about all this or whatever. We have something common now that everybody has in common. We can use this to, I don't know, strengthen our community, and then in the future, if this ever kind of thing happens again, with a stronger firearms community, lead through example of how to not get susceptible to the droughts or susceptible to the shortages. It's not like it's magic, but we could effort. Anyway, I'd certainly like to have conversation with people that would be interested in building something like that. I don't know how to build it, but it wouldn't be with one person, that's for sure. It would have to be a big effort. Joining, sorry about that. Let's see. So Patriots saying they'd like to join as long as a kid. Well, it's all about, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it either. It's something I would have liked to have done, but it's tough to get multiple people in on something that isn't, making its own, holding its own weight. I mean, that's the way to say it. It doesn't necessarily have to make money if it's like, amazing and well worth your time. But if it's not for the people sitting down to do it, then it ain't never gonna happen. All right, well, so is this show that's boring? There's nobody out there tonight, or am I getting quirked? I'm gonna go look and see if I'm getting quirked. It's a lot easier to blame it on being quirked than just making a horrible show that nobody wants to listen to. What the hell? It's under this one, I think. There we go. Am I screen sharing? Oh, I can over here. Huh, it's got me in here twice. What the hell? Who made this channel? I wonder if nobody watches this show. My channel's all screwed up and goofy looking. Nobody's even quirking me. Dang it. I figured I was getting quirked by Yankee or something. 5 people watching. It's crazy. Telling me the country, 360 million people. There's only the 5 of us, 4 of us really watching this. I'm gonna see what else is on YouTube. Can you go to a live section anymore? I'm getting all these like how to make candy videos. Where'd that come from? There used to be live. There we go. So there's 26,000 people watching some kind of a hip hop one. Hip hop beats, relax to study to. That one almost is on every single day. I've seen that thumbnail before. Let's see. 7,000 people watching NBC News. Or ABC News, I guess. They got one called Gentle Rain at Night. That's on 24/7 for sleeping. That's 5,000 people watching it. Some chick says, "Hey guys, let's hang out live." And she's got 2,007 people watching. Coronavirus shuts down domestic travel. 5,000 people watching. Crazy. Looks like there's a whole bunch of sports ones. I'm gonna have to blame the algorithm, right? Because that's not my fault. That's algorithms. And then GunTube. I'm just straight up blaming GunTube for this one too. If I was on GunTube, I'd have a lot more people watching live. So because I'm on the duck, I'm blaming GunTube. Let's see. Last minute St. Patrick's Day. When the hell is St. Patrick's Day? Should I know this kind of thing? St. Patrick's Day. Tuesday, March 17th. Oh, tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. Well, that's why nobody's watching my show. It's because of fucking St. Patrick's. Fucking Germans. Let's see. 42,000 people. These are recent shows that already happened. Edge of your seat slot machine action. 43,000 viewers. Let's see. So I was going to do one where I go in my back shed and I clean it. That'd be fun. And I was going to do one where I sort screws. I got a shit ton of screws to sort. And then my friend just moved. So he had this like giant box of unsorted stuff, screws and hinges and shit like that, knobs and whatnot. So he's like, I'm never going to sort this. And he's going to throw it out. I'm like, I'm not going to let you throw that out because I'm not insane. So now I got to sort out this big box of screws and shit. So I figured I'd do that live. Maybe that'll make a bunch of money. I'll be like, hey guys, let's hang out and sort screws. Just like this chick's thumbnail. One called Breathe In Your Calm. High frequency, something another. 152. Some guy's got a thing about breathing in your calm, and he's got 152 people watching. I've got 3 people watching. It's Patriot, Chris, and Guy. Steven Shotgun, you finished? Oh, you're talking to Patriot. Yeah, that's his gun. New York Pepper has his lockdown chats going on right now. Although Chicken Littles. I've never watched New York Pepper. But this has got to be what preppers are, well, they prep for. All right, well, so I was going through my list of history there to try to get some topic. Let me go, I want to go to search history. What happens if I go to comments? What is that all about? Oh, this is me. No. Oh yeah, this is me. Oh, duh, that's the name of it. I gotcha. So yeah, these are my comments on other people's videos. Missed it live, but first thumb, another great video. Thank you. 10th thumb. You really touched on some interesting points in this chat. Thank you both. 4th thumb. Interesting. Thank you. I bet this will spread. That was one the Patriot did about ATF messing with your CPL exemption. One that says good stuff. Thank you. Here's one that says second thumb. Another one says second thumb. Next one. Thank you. And that other dude for the heads up. Next one. Nice work. 4th time's a charm. What was that? Oh, that was Patriot again. But probably saying 4th time you patented it or whatever. 4th time you restripped it. And that was from 3 weeks ago. Next is... Oh, I was watching something with John Crump talking to some other guy, and they didn't even watch Red Dawn, obviously, because they weren't sure if the guy even talks about 4473s. definitely says, "Go get the Form 4473." He says it right in the movie. And because he says it in Spanish, it's in closed caption on the screen. He definitely says it. So I made a comment to that effect. Then we got Seventh Thumb. Then we got Right On. We got Sixth Thumb. Good show, thank you. Then we got Have a Good One. Wish I could check it out too. And that was, in response to somebody saying about a rally in another state that I wish I could go to. Then a bunch of that. So it looks like I often say things like second thumb or 12th thumb or first thumb or shit like that. All right, I'm done looking at that. It keeps making me yawn. Oh, I thought that was your shotgun. All right. So with that, I guess it's been an hour. I mean, it's just us. So, anything else to chat about? Otherwise, I'm gonna get back to it. This is about my noon. I wake up in the late morning, I guess you could say. Usually wake up around like between 9 and 10, 11, something like that. Fart around and then start digging in and then come up for air, do this show. And then I start my evening projects my projects that can't be noisy because it's in the middle of the night and neighbors will get mad. But I can do without any distraction and a nice fast internet. But like I say, I'm about to take into some new things here. I'm not like in the middle of one thing like I am some days. Yeah, that's what I figured. The shotgun is your dad's. I thought it was yours. But I hear what you're saying, going from the plastic stock to a wood. I like the wooden stocks also. It took me a while to even want a polymer stock back in the day. I can remember that being like the inexpensive option. That would have been like you got good wood or then you got the cheap wood option. And you got the cheap wood option until you could afford putting good wood on it. And back in the day, the good wood was stronger. I mean, and some of it looked better, but it was mostly stronger wood, right? Like real wood. And then the inexpensive models were some sort of like garbage wood or press wood or some easy to deal with wood that was a filler that would work, but it wasn't fancy. It wasn't strong. And you would either go strong or you would go fancy or maybe ergonomic or something, but it was still going to cost you money. So plastic was like, here, we want to make a gun that we know you're going to put some fancy wood on. So here, just to get it out the door so that you have something on it, here's some plastic. That's how I got the impression. Then it took a while before it was like, dang, plastic's kind of good. It doesn't get wet and it doesn't get all gross and this and that. And it was lighter. But you don't always want lighter. Sometimes you want lighter, but not always. So anyway, it took me a long time to dig plastic. But now I basically want plastic over wood, probably. But I could see it for a shotgun. Yeah, shotguns are shotguns. I think people should have a shotgun around, but I don't think you need to have a shotgun around. I don't know. Maybe something will change and I'll like shotguns again, but I have lost my interest in them. Well, now we got 10 people, so I don't know what's going on with the counter out there. So if there is people out there, we're just chatting and throwing some ideas for topics out there. I'm going to be going live tomorrow, talk about robots. Tomorrow night on this show, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Worked on saw a little something last night that I won't talk about. So there you go. All right, now we're down to 9 again. So that means somebody came in here, didn't like silence and a little bit of murmuring, and then left. Yeah, I've never been so insulted. So I'm going to end this chat. So thanks for showing up. I think that's it. I don't want to talk about anything else. So we're going to end it, and I'm going to go get back to work. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be awesome. It'll be the best show you've ever heard tomorrow, because this is almost always the best show ever. This happened to be the worst one. How much do sawed-off shotguns usually weigh with a stock? Well, how can they be sawed off if they got a stock? Is that one of them trick questions? How much does it weigh if you take a pound of metal off of a gun? It weighs 1 pound less than when you started. So they don't weigh nothing. I don't know. I think it's balance more than anything. When you chop the ends off, you get your balance. You don't have any balance issue. Like you get your ability to wield back. The shotguns are basically a piece of wood with a piece of pipe in the front. They don't really weigh that much. Even a shotgun with a magazine might weigh a little bit, but they don't weigh as much as guns because they don't got as much density. The barrels aren't anywhere near as heavy. The barrels are super lightweight considering how big they look. And shotgun shells look huge, but they're 90% air. And, like buckshots barely have like a dozen 9mm bullets in them, so they weigh almost nothing. And then a bunch of springs, trigger, and it doesn't weigh nothing. So shotguns don't weigh that much. A really, really good, like whatever the word is, like really good heavy wood, hardwood, can weigh a little bit more, but then you keep going and they start being stronger woods that weigh less. So just like anything, you pay for the material. So I've seen some really, really, really expensive and potentially strong ones that don't weigh much either. What shotgun weighs the most? Probably one of them goofy semis. Must weigh something, even though they got a lot of empty plastic. And then maybe like a full-size duck gun or something, a big heavy shotgun, a big like caliber shotgun or whatever. But as far as pounds and stuff, less than an AR, but more than a pistol, somewhere in there. Okay, so everybody's saying have a good night. Yeah, if it's St. Patrick's Day, I guess you're obligated to go out and get drunk tomorrow. You're supposed to drink and drive. That makes no sense. It's reckless. I can't get behind it. But if that's the tradition, let's get super drunk tomorrow and Uber all over and be rowdy about it and paint everything green, buy a lot of green paint. Don't cough on anybody. And we'll be back to wake you up later.